Hello, 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 dreamers, and welcome back to PERLA'S Dreams. Scorpio, this is your general reading. Um, okay, Scorpios. There is. Alright, what is it that uh, you're reevaluating some past choices? So it's almost this crossroad of looking at past actions and looking at where you are in life versus where you could have been, where you should have been, how you should have. To be honest with you, Scorpio, I'm not gonna lie to you. And again, guys, these are general readings. There is a sense of like regret here, and I don't like this energy because you have to learn to stand by your decisions, whatever they are. Whether it was a job that you didn't take, whether it was a relationship that you walk away from, whether you allow somebody to walk away, whether whatever it was, whether you made a stupid like financial investment, whatever it was, it's done. It's over. Now, you're needing to focus on what was the lesson in that. What did that space teach you about yourself? Because you're not doing that. You're trying to fix something, or you're trying to figure out a way to fix something. You're trying to figure out a way to get back to something. Again, whether this is a job, whether this is a person, it doesn't matter. We're talking about like the energetic field here as to like the energy that are around you, and the energy is this is a revolving door. This is like you're stuck in a loop at the moment that you need to get yourself out of, right? You're stuck in this loop, and you're just like replaying something, and then you're drowning yourself, but you're also trying to pretend to the world that you're fine. You're trying to pretend to the world like everything is okay. And it's like, can you identify, let's put it this way, are you able to identify uh, where within yourself you need to address something? Whether this has to do with any trauma from your childhood, whether this has to be do with trauma from past relationships, but there is an inability here that you're having of like listening clearly to what spirit is telling you when it comes to these repetitive patterns that you've had in the past, that keep on bringing you back to the same outcome. So they're telling me like, look at the past 5 to 6 years of your life, and you're repeating the same cycle. You're doing the same thing over and over again. And again, these are general readings. So if you're not in this space where you're repeating something, if you're not in a space where you feel stagnant, maybe this reading is not for you. This reading is for those that are feeling in this space of like I'm doing like, okay, let's put it this way. You may have had issues when it comes to relationships, right? Let's just use romantic relationship as an example. And you may have dated multiple people within the past 6 years, right? But at the core of itself, the relationship aspect of it, you're having the same issue in each of those relationships, right? So the common denominator there is you. The common denominator there is something within you that you need to address. Are you jumping into things because you're feeling lonely? Now, if you are feeling lonely, why is it that you don't feel like you yourself are enough? Why is it that you're looking for somebody outside of you to tell you that you're enough, to make you feel fulfilled? Because remember, a relationship is supposed to add to the fulfillment that you already have. It is not supposed to be the fulfillment in itself. If you're switching careers, or you're constantly switching jobs, and you're getting bored, then maybe you have to address, maybe this is not the field for me anymore. Maybe I have outgrown this field. Maybe there's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, the stagnant energy is a repetitive pattern that has been going on for years, regardless of what the workplace, like the workplace changing, the relationship changing, the house changing, whatever physical changes outside of you that you have done have not resolved this. Okay. There's definitely things from your past that feel that this energy feels like it's hunting you, whether it is coming up in like your dreams where you're dreaming about something that you feel, again, this energy of regret of maybe I shouldn't have walked away from this, right? Excuse me, guys. There, whether it's happening in your dreams, whether it's happening like when you're dazing off, like daydreaming or whatever it is, you need to get yourself out of this space. You need to come to terms with what has ended. And you also, there is also this space of like grieving, this space of allowing yourself to grieve something. And just because you're in the midst of grieving something doesn't mean that you need to return to it, because I feel that that is kind of like your thing. It's like to avoid the grieving process of something, you revert back to it. Now when I say that, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, if you broke up with somebody, you're reverting back to the person, going back to the person. No, you're jumping into another relationship to avoid the grieving process of the other person. If you are unhappy with your job, with your career, instead of trying to figure out like, am I still meant to be here, am I meant to do something else, like what is it about this job that is making me so uncomfortable, you jump into another one. So you're never really addressing the core issue here, and that is what spirit is trying to bring forth to you. Like, let's address these core issues within ourselves, so that then we're able to move forward, so that then we're able to get out of this loop that we have been in for years. You're looking for, no one is going to have all the answers for you, Scorpio. You already know this. Nobody's going to have all these answers for you. And you, excuse me. Whew. As you're going through this process, well, if you choose to, let's put it this way, of going through the process, uh, identifying the core issues within these spaces for yourself, you need to have a lot of grace with yourself, because you, again, when you're evaluating these spaces, you can be very harsh with yourself. And then because you don't want to deal with the the emotions that are coming up in that moment in space, you shut it down. You shut it down. And the thing is, like, there is this like fake mask that you wear where you say, well, I just let it go, oh, I'm done with it. And it's like, one thing is to physically say like, oh, I let it go. But if emotionally and physically your body is not in alignment with that letting go, guess what, my love, that is going to stay right there, and it's going to simmer inside of you physically, and it's going to start manifesting in different ways. It is going to simmer inside of you. It, like, emotionally is going to spiritually stay with you. And it doesn't matter how many times you say, I let it go, I let it go, I let it go. Your body and your emotions are saying something different. That feeling, that urge that you're feeling, that constriction that you're feeling, whether it's in your chest, whether it's your leg cramping up or your arm cramping up, is because you have not let something go. It is because you have not gone through the process of healing something. And a lot of it has to do with not allowing yourself to feel, because you feel that if you don't allow yourself to feel, then you can't get hurt. But that pain is already within you. So you have to feel it in order to release it. You have to feel it in order to heal it. And you need to stop avoiding that, Scorpio. You need to stop avoiding it, because it's not doing you any good. It's really not. It's hurting you because you have been stuck in this loop for like the past literally like 5 to 6 years. And it's like, it doesn't matter like what little traction you get, it almost feels like you come right back to where it was, like to the starting point. And aren't you just tired of like always starting at the same place? I mean, the whole point of progress is like you go 10 step forward, and if you fail when you're starting again, you're starting at that 10th step, not the first one, my love, because you already went through 1 through 9. You're starting at 10, and then you may go from 10 to 20 and fail, and it's like, okay, that didn't work, now we're starting at 20. But it's like you get up to like 50, and then you start all over right back at 1. And just because of the simple fact that you do not want to feel. So your oracle card is the dark moon. In the dark of your heart lives new breath waiting for you to release its ghost. Excuse me. So this is your card. I always do that. I never know like how far the phone actually is. This is the deck that we're using. So yeah, Scorpio, it's time to just like really get into that space of like really letting something just go, regardless of how uncomfortable it feels at the moment when those emotions are rising up. You got this. Give those emotions the space to be released, to be heard, to be felt. All right, the dark moon. We have, if you're holding the dark moon card, know that there is always a change to start again. Always a chance, excuse me, to start again. Your situation may seem like the end of the road, but it is not, especially for those who know the power of spirit. You may, excuse me, you must have hope even when things seem too hard to bear. There is always a new moon just a few weeks away, and there will always be a new opportunity waiting for you as well. It may not come as quickly as you like, but hope is a powerful force and will set things in motion for you. So again, this is an opportunity for you to do things differently. This is an opportunity, like again, it is going to be uncomfortable while you're in the midst of those emotions. But trust me, there is going to be worth it because it is going to free you from the cycle that you have been stuck in. Well, guys, as always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.